What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining me. This is Jay Dumont, bringing you episode 3 of First Look / Let's Nerd with Fallout, Adam RPG. So we're back here. We just got done with the caravan. We're going to head over here, see what this place is. Hopefully I don't die on the way. And we're going to continue to explore the wasteland. Game was auto-saved. Got a truck here. Some sludge rivers. And some armed guards. The bearded man spits and threateningly aims the barrel of his assault rifle at you. Where do you think you're going, mate? There's the main entrance. Strangers must enter through it. You better go there unless you want a bullet between your eyes. Okay. I missed the main entrance, which I guess is up here. What's in here? Oh, how convenient. Take some wires. I don't need that many wires. Okay, they're hoarding wires here for some reason. What is this place? Before you stands a grim man with trimmed hair. He's wearing a black padded jacket. Upon seeing you, he spits on the ground in front of you and gets a better grip on his weathered assault rifle. He eyes you coldly. Hey mate, what made you turn up in this neck of the backwoods? I'm traveling, that's how I stumbled upon this place. Oh, so you're a traveler, huh? Real outdoorsman, huh? Why are you here, oh great strider? Out with it, now. Well, I just wanted to have a bit of a talk. The man crosses his arms on his chest and looks at you quietly. He doesn't argue or deny your request. So how are things? Seems like you're not that charismatic. The man shrugs and looks away. It's all good. I see. Tell me about yourself. They call me Kosoy and I work for Dan. We all do. And you don't need to learn more about us. Tell me about your chief. He's a great guy, although he's not really one of the high-ranking thieves. He has a vision, you know, planned for all of us. Sure. Tell me about this place. It's an old dilapidated factory. Hell if I know what they made around here. Bricks, I think. Now it's our base of operations. Our little army rests here between our valiant attempts to rescue local villages from all kinds of trouble. And here I was thinking you're just a bunch of bandits. You shouldn't think about it too much. It could bite you in the ass one day. Sure, we take our share from the profits of local simpletons, but we spend that money to protect them. These lands are so many freaks, mutants, and cold-blooded assholes crawling about that without our protection, those peasants would be dead already. Wow, now that's true heroism. I smell something fishy. Go find a doctor and have your nose checked, because what I said was the truth. Sure. What's the news around this place? Some say the Atom organization is a real thing after all. I thought only fools believed it to be true. But the other day I saw a large troop of soldiers with my own eyes. They were passing through the Otradnoy village. And they weren't from Krasnozameni or any other place I know of. Yeah, real food for thought. I think I better go. Yeah, get out of here while I'm feeling generous, but don't you even dare set foot in our camp. Alright, Captain. I am out of here. Don't tell me 3 times. Twice is enough. Abandoned factory. Wow, there's lots of places to go. Boom, 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 boom. Let's enter this place. Radiated and I'm hungry. Oh, someone is here. Short man with a hand-rolled cigarette moldering between his yellow teeth is standing in front of you. He gets a more comfortable grip on the strap of his machine gun, takes a cigarette out of his mouth for a moment, and spits richly in the dirt on the side of the road. Rook ordered me to execute any suspicious traveler on the spot. The man's voice is hoarse and quiet. What are we going to do with you? You're not doing your job well. I've already been to most of your outposts. The man smirks and suddenly bursts into a loud barking cough. Finally the bout passes. He flinches and looks up at you once again. Cough. Damn. Yeah, one has to entertain oneself somehow when standing sentinel. My name's Katchin. What's yours? My name is... The man Weasley draws a cigarette and nods. Mole, the best shooter in the wastes. Mole, what a weird name you've chosen for yourself. Yeah, alright, what did you come here for? I'm not an expert, of course, but you better quit smoking with a cough like that. The man takes a draw at the cigarette and immediately gets a bout of cough he can barely hold back. I'll quit when I'm dead. It's more fun when you smoke. Ahem. Listen, talking about fun, do you have dice on you? We could play our game of two. I've got a coin, as I've just had a payday. How can it be you love playing but have no dice of your own? The man starts biting his lip with anger and finally waves his hand in disappointment. To hell with you, I gambled them away. Yes, it's hilarious. I gambled away the dice, but that's what happened. How did it happen? I had a day off and decided to take a trip to Otradnoy. At that time, the swindler stayed there. What's his name? Grishka. Yeah, such a bald hoodlum. Perhaps you've seen him if you've been there. You can't gamble in the village, so him and I went into an abandoned house nearby, but this Grisha turned out to be a real devil. He left me with nothing but my underwear in less than no time. I even lost my underwear to him, actually. Had to run from one bush to another all the way to the outpost. Good job it didn't occur to me to give up my service gun. It's a sin to wish for it, of course, but I'd love if someone kicked his head in. He's a con man, an obvious one. Yeah, well, what a story. That's what I'm saying. To hell with him. There's nothing to be done. Yeah, I'd like to ask you a few more questions. Tell me about yourself, if it's alright. The man carefully looks you up and down and shakes his head. It's a secret. You are very nosy, aren't you? I don't want to talk about myself. That's your right? Can you tell me about this place? This is a roadside outpost. What did you expect to hear? From here we are guarding the road to Krasno-Zameni. That's some work, I tell you. If no one is attacking, it's boring. If someone is attacking, it's scary. I don't even enjoy seeing the merchants who pass through here anymore. They all look the same to me. Right. Who's in charge here? Rook. He's staying in the little house, probably sulking as usual. That man is way too gloomy. Still, he's honest and trustworthy. There aren't many left like him in the world. True that. Are there any rumors that are fun or not so much? There's a not so fun one. It seems to me that one of our good servicemen got badly addicted to devil's weed. He's constantly smoking, but the smoke is definitely not that of tobacco. At this rate, he's going to end up in a lunatic asylum soon. I feel sorry for the guy. It's possible. Alright, I've got to go now. Strong woman in an army coat is standing in front of you. Her hands are clenched on a Simonov semi-automatic carbine that's been modified into a sniper rifle. As she sees you, she raises one of her eyebrows and casually nods. Hello, are you traveling? Yes, now I'm passing by your fortress. Well, the fortress isn't mine. I'm just temporarily living in it. What brings you here? The woman is looking at you with slight interest. Apparently, a conversation with you is a form of light entertainment for her, a way to escape the mundanity of life for a moment, or perhaps to forget about some serious problems. What do you mean? As I've already told you, I'm just passing by. Oh, you're worse than the local soldiers. There's nothing to talk with you about. Well, what was it that you wanted? What do you do here, if you don't mind me asking? I've got one business here. As soon as I'm ready, I'll do it and bid farewell to the filling station fortress, and farewell to this dusty crossroads. Do you need any help with this business of yours? Not really, I can manage. I'm just not in the mood for it right now. Could you answer a few questions? The woman raises her gaze of boredom at you and shakes her head indifferently. I don't really want to. Maybe you can answer a few of mine. Ask away. Where are you traveling from? From Atradnoy. The woman smacks her lips with some disappointment and looks at you pitifully. So you're a local then? Well, that's not interesting at all. I see locals here every day. Only where have you been hiding from me all this time, I wonder? You've asked me where I was traveling from. I've told you. I'm not really local. I'm from the lands far away from here, actually. Right, you're not willing to tell me much, are you? And you wanted to ask me about stuff. Well then, is there anything interesting going on in your faraway lands? Are there any curious stories? Every place has its curious stories. It's just that I don't know what you're interested in. I'm interested in the same thing other people's are. Various spooky things, intrigues, scandals. Go on, surprise me. How about the fact that I'm from Adam? That's right, the Adam. Aha, that's funny. He's from Adam. The woman bursts out laughing loudly and looks at you. Alright, I admit it. You do have a sense of humor of sorts. Or wait, are you being serious? Right then. It's a sad thing. The wasteland has robbed you of your sanity. The woman quickly touches your forehead with the palm of her hand and looks you in the eye with doubt. You seem to have no fever. Maybe there are some drugs involved? It's hard to tell by her voice whether she's laughing at you or being serious, but most probably she's mocking you. Right, so what interesting things are happening in your Adam? Any curious stories to tell? Recently, a big expedition of ours went missing in the wasteland, so I was sent to find out what happened to it. The woman looks at you attentively and finally coughs embarrassedly. Well, alright, enough of joking. This is becoming a bit awkward. We finished with the questions here. Thank you for your story. What do you do here, if you don't mind me asking? I've got... I'll be off then. Oh, we leveled up. Sweet. Let me go pick through the trash bins with my half-radiated self. Ooh, nails. Another empty bottle. Close to being encumbered. Piece of attire, dusty and smelling of burnt rubble. It's the ideal candidate for the post-apocalyptic handyman. Waste paper. I'm encumbered now. Let's drop some empty bottles. And this headscarf. And how about we eat some canned meat? We're hungry. Alright, let's do our new level. Fast learning we can get. Bookworm. Plus 50% to skills you get from reading. Not enough points, but we'll take fast learning. Plus 3 skill points every level up. Cost of skill, your skill points. Alright, cool. Now for my skills. Go with melee, speechcraft. Survival. Melee weapons. That's it. A young guy in a shabby uniform stands in front of you. He stares into the distance, a frown on his face, twisting his hands with a heavy fighting knife with a tarnished blade. A guest at our outpost. My pleasure. Interesting knife you have. Family heirloom? The guy throws the knife in the air and catches it awkward, nearly chopping off his fingers. Ouch. Shit. No, well, maybe it did belong to someone's family once. I got it when I joined the outpost. It's a burden rather than a weapon, honestly. When you throw it, it flies handle forward. During sparring, the guys kick it out of my hand with the very first blow. I tried to peel potatoes with it once and cut my hand. Keep your perker up, man. Let me see it. Maybe it's not as bad as it sounds. Failure. As soon as you touch the heavy knife, you realize this young soldier wasn't just being a wimp. The knife simply won't find its way into your hand. After failing with every single knife trick you remember from the Atom training, you return the knife. I'm telling you, this knife's no good. True. Private nods in reply. I have a couple questions. The soldier shrugs and breathes out indifferent. Apparently he's not too eager to answer your questions, but he's too nice to flatly refuse. Why not? What do you want to know? Who are you? What do you do? Igor Dubovitsky. I'm an orphan from the wasteland. Spent all my time wandering around. Now it seems I'm a private. What's made you settle down? The guy shivers uncomfortably. Apparently the subject you want to talk about is too hard for him. It just happened. Let's change the subject. Okay. What are you doing here? I serve the society. The private grins proudly. Rook, Mr. Rook, I mean, and us, the guys, we guard the road so that no barbarians show their faces in our capital, Krasno-Zameni. Do they often attack the barbarians? There are enough idiots. Rumor has it some gang did take over the fortress and its guards once. Now all the thugs and psychos in the neighborhood try to break their record. So far they've been unsuccessful. Your service is hard indeed. All ears. What do you know about this place? We have quite a decent outpost. It's safe. If you notice the raid is on time, you can oppose an entire army for as long as it takes for help to arrive. Not that we ever had to, of course. The attackers are mostly tiny gangs. And that's good. Have you heard any rumors? I've heard Dan's gang from the factory is asked to join Krasno-Zameni with their lands and all. Who would have expected it? I guess there are gangsters and there are gangsters. Some of them have nothing human left in them, and some have managed to preserve the remains of common sense. Interesting. Alright. I guess Rook is in here. What's up, Rook? A well-built man is sitting in front of you. The soldier looks around 50 years old. The shows in grayness that appears here and there in his black hair, and in the heavy gaze of an experienced warrior that pierces right through you. Even his posture speaks of that special pre-war type of training you've seen a lot among the Atom ranks. The man gives you a brief nod. At this moment you notice an unusual lucky charm hanging from his neck. One doesn't need to be a gun expert to understand that it's a live bullet carefully wielded to a silvery chain. Attention, you also notice a bunch of odd scratches on the surface of this lucky charm. Hello, comrade. What do you want? Thought I recognized your mug, but I've mistaken you for someone else. I want to talk to you about something. The man gives you an evil smirk. Some mistake. What is it you want? It's a story with your lucky charm. The man squints his eyes for a second to look at the bullet hanging on his wide, muscular chest. Then he just dismisses your question. It's nothing. A trophy. I don't think it's that simple at all. For example, what do these scratches on its side mean? The man sniffs with irritation and looks down at his lucky charm. Damn, you're eagle-eyed. Only those aren't scratches. That's a name of one citizen. Kostya the Yob. Who is this Kostya the Yob to deserve a personal bullet? The man sighs loudly and turns his gaze to some faraway place only he knows about. This is a story from a whole different life. My life. But sometimes I even forget about it. And to begin to think it's from someone else's. From the life of an ordinary soldier who, after the war, came to his home village, to his father and mother and his son, to his wife pregnant with their second child. And he was lucky, that green youth. He saw everything the way he left it half a year earlier. The same faces, the same houses, only everyone around had gone wild. As the first post-war winter came, the raids started. First they were cutting in the night with masks on the mugs of the looters. Then the looting became more open and shameless. Why the hell did I decide to organize a resistance? At first it didn't go too well, but then me and other ordinary civilian men managed to fend off an attack. And on top of that, we wiped out half the gang. With hunting rifles, can you believe that? And also with my Makarov gun that I brought from the army. We expected everything to get quiet. But it didn't. No, it was the opposite. With that fight, we seriously angered the leader of those criminals. One night he came after us with this whole gang of thieves, Kostya the Yob. They say he's united a whole special maximum security penal colony under his authority and turned it into a well-coordinated army. How could we fight back when against each one of our men there were 10 to 15 cutthroats with Kalashnikovs? Kostya the Yob assembled everyone in the central street of my home village. He brought me and the other two guys in front of the villagers and made us get down on our knees. It was so shameful, and began telling us off, like little kids, even without any anger in his voice, just reproach. Why did we go against the new authorities, he said. What kind of guerrilla war is it? I'm protecting you here, by the way, far from worse cutthroats. I'm feudal, and this is not a thievery but the collection of taxes. I care about you with my whole heart, and now you make me use force. Continue listening in silence. After the bastard finished his speech, he crouched in front of me, looked me in the eye with kindness, turning my Makarov gun in his hands, and then he said, I'm not going to kill you. After that he quickly turned around in a flash. Bang! My wife Lenochka fell down. Seryochka ran to her. Mom. Bang! Seryochka fell down too. Bang! My mother fell down with a hole in her chest. Bang, my father. Bang, bang, my friends, Ivan and Stasik, with precise holes in their foreheads. By then I wasn't standing on my knees anymore, but on all fours, biting the earth, groaning, howling like a beaten dog, wailing and begging to die, choking out the earth with my tears. I never wanted anything as bad as I wanted to die at that moment. But when Kostya the Yob finally pointed my own gun at me and pulled the trigger, only a click came out of it. The bullet got stuck in the chamber and rolled out in the mud through the case ejection chute. Can you believe that? The last bullet got stuck. My bullet. With a shaking hand, the man grabs a bullet on his neck chain and clenches his fist until it goes white. And now it's his. I swear on the names of my loved one, the bullet will find Kostya the Yob. That's a hard story, man. The man sighs bitterly and loosens his grip. That's why we won't talk about it again, about this story. Wait, this Kostya has to be punished. He does, but where can I find him now? Back then we lived far away in the north. His closest analog here is only Dan from the factory, but even Dan pales in comparison with that scum. Damn, I'd love to do the same to Yob. Easy there, who knows, maybe I'll meet him during my travels, then I'll let you know. Maybe I'll finish him off myself. We'll see. You're right. You're damn right. You know, if you meet this bastard, let me know. I'll reward you for it. Not just that, I'll kiss your feet. Only if you meet him, leave him to me. Definitely, cost the job is yours. The man nods, a sinister smile appears on his face, and his fist clenches. Maybe you could answer some questions for me, old man. I've no time to blabber. Go have a chat with the soldiers. I'll do that. Although I seem to have chatted with all the soldiers. Oh, here's a soldier. A bearded man in a helmet stands in front of you and looks around blearily. When he notices you, he smiles and gives you his favorite salute. The first thing you notice about him is his dilated pupils. Wow, hey dude, where are you heading? Look, I'll answer with a question. Are you high? The man licks his dry lips and throws his hands up. Hi, no, dude. I'm clean. What are you talking about? That was a good joke. Come on, bro, don't feel shy. Go on, tell me, what's your poison? The soldier scratches his beard and eventually breaks into a stupid smile. Ah, to hell with it. You look like a decent guy. Well, I might have smoked some devil's weed, just a little, for medical purposes. You see, it's so boring here. You just have to relax once in a while. You get me, man? I don't care, to be honest. Smoke all you want as long as your lungs permit it. Cool, great attitude. Live and let live. This is my credo, too. But listen, dude, don't blow a whistle on me to Comrade Rook. He has a particular dislike to weed. Where do you even get devil's weed? How did it get in the wasteland? Well, dude, don't tell anyone, but there's a cook in the border guard fortress who buys devil weed and then resells it to known dealers. And they spread it all over the wasteland. I bought it from them myself, but don't rat on me, okay? What exactly is this border guard fortress? You hand your map over to the soldier. He looks at it for a while, smacking his lips and snorting. Eventually he pokes his index finger at a point on the map. Here, I think, but don't rat on me, please, okay? Okay, I won't. Thanks, dude. You get me. The bearded man apparently wants to tap you on the shoulder, but misses. His arm makes a half circle in front of you. Yeah. Okay, bye. There's another soldier over here. Young man of about 20 years old with a shaven head is standing in front of you. If it weren't for his partially makeshift military uniform, you'd have taken him for a common street gang member. Still, his clothes, intelligent look in his eyes, and a machine gun over his shoulder tell a very different story of this person's background that has nothing to do with being raised on the streets. These dudes have stimulants, pre-war cognac. As he sees you, the soldier stands straight at attention and shouts loudly right in your ear. Good day! At ease. Identify yourself, soldier. Instinctively, the soldier straightens up even more. Private Karenin, carrying out my military service at the filling station fortress. Tell me about yourself, soldier. Sure, ask away. What are you interested in? Who are you? Anatoly Karenin, a private at this fine outpost. The young man is practically glowing with pride as he pronounces these words. Nice to meet you. What are you doing here? I'm guarding the road together with my comrades in arms. All sorts of people would love to drive here, but we only allow the decent ones through. That's commendable. Can you tell me about the fortress? This used to be a filling station here. Cool, right? If there was some fuel left, we could create a self-destruct mechanism in case the bandits overpower us in a battle one day. Then we'd burn everything to the ground together with the advancing barbarians. That's so self-sacrificial. Have you heard any rumors? Every day there's a story worth of event. Lately, there's appeared so many various cults. Take Banana Devi Christus, for example. They've got a temper, and just a week ago, the cult of Rydunits of Slavic the Meek passed through the checkpoint. It's full of different old women. They should be knitting socks for their grandkids, but they're walking around telling people about some Slavic instead. can one take the life as it is now without faith, huh? Even if this faith is unusual. I've never thought about it. Maybe people really joined all these cults out of utter desperation. It's a dubious way out, though, to my mind. Aha, but you mentioned some other rumors. Do you care to share them? Whether it's a rumor or not, but some people claim that the owner of the bar in Krasnozemeni suburb is an agent of Adam. I'm not sure if I trust it. I don't know about others, but I don't really believe in the existence of that organization. Yeah, tell me something else. The factory chief Dan has risen significantly. He's buying out new lands, making deals with Krasnozemeni. One of my comrades in arms, nicknamed Kachin, is very unhappy about it. Used to be a member of Dan's gang, and since then he got very mixed feelings about him. As for me, such scum as Dan is a better option than when it's every man for himself. Who knows? Tell me something else. One experienced bounty hunter told me this simple truth. The mercenaries are usually threatened with death by their sworn enemies, while adventure seekers by anyone who has the misfortune of making their acquaintance. Yeah? An old soldier who passed through the outpost told me a short anecdote during a smoke break. If you've regained consciousness in a tiny little town and the last thing you remember is a knuckle duster heading for your face, this doesn't mean you've cheated death. In fact, you got very unlucky. Yeah, tell me something else. Ochudnoy village has faced so much trouble. It's seen so many disasters. When someone from there reaches our outpost, they tell us such horrors that make the hair stand up on the back of my neck. Yeah, well, let me ask you another question. Never mind. Whoops, never mind. We can change it, sure, why not? Or we could go our separate ways. Good luck with your service. Let's see if anyone has pre-war vodka. Compact cassette. Someone's here bound to have some pre-war vodka. Will Rook barter with me? Apomorphine. It said this chemical can cure even the most severe cases of drug addiction. Who knows, but you better use it when you have withdrawal. Alright. Adios, muchachos. Krasnozemeni, which must be that big place down there. What is this? Hey buddy, need some help? The old bearded man smirks at you before you manage to start a conversation. The old hermit welcomes you. Hello, brother. The spirits warned me about your arrival, but I didn't believe them. It's not often that I get visitors here. Did you stumble upon my humble residence by mistake, or have you come to visit me from my previous life? Who were you in your previous life? The man turns a little pale, his voice filled with noticeable sadness when he says, Don't even remind me. I was a horrible gangster or a robber. Thank the Great Spirit I haven't killed anyone that I can recall, but I've broken plenty of faces and even more kneecaps in my day. I'm ashamed of that now. That's why I became a hermit. I mean, you aren't one of the people whom I've done wrong, are you? Because there's no point in getting revenge now. I'm a pacifist. I am practically a monk. I've even cut off my index finger so I can never pull the trigger again. The man shows you his hands. His index fingers are bent and glued to his palms with scotch tape. Your fingers don't look cut off. Well, I'm not a psycho to cut off my own fingers for real, but while my scotch tape is holding my fingers taped to my palms, I won't be able to harm anybody. I see. Let's change the subject. Be my guest. The spirits and I will be happy to answer. What the hell's with you and these spirits, man? Are you a wizard or what? What's that now? What do you mean? There are spirits everywhere. In this stick, in a pine cone, in a myrmic. Look under a sleeping dog's tail, and sure enough, you'll find a spirit there. Now that I've decided to become a hermit, a spiritual man, it's my duty to notice them everywhere and to respect them. I see. Be my guest. The spirits and I will be happy to answer. Fantastic. There will be an honest answer to an honest question. That's what the spirits are saying. Who are you? Simple nomad, bending like the reed at the will of nature and human unpredictability. Probably it isn't easy for you. What are you doing here? Surviving, brother mine. How many pine cones one should collect to have a satisfying meal? How many plants should one disturb while collecting morning dew to quench one's thirst? I know the answer to all these questions. You are a true survivor. Is it hard to live alone out here? I endure the hardships of life with a smile on my face because I'm a man of kind, forgiving nature and a high degree of adaptability to any conditions. So that's how it is. Care to share some rumors? There are more rumors spreading in this wilderness than one might think. Recently, while lurking behind a fallen tree, I heard an eagle bragging to a bee that he flew over Krasno's Zemeni and saw a man who's been sleeping for several days straight and no one could wake him up. However, it's quite possible that those two were just two hunters talking, not animals. It was nighttime after all, and I didn't see that well in the dark. But nevertheless, it's an interesting rumor. Ooh, he's got a qualitative knife. Knife's in good shape, useful in all sorts of situations. A sharpening stone. 65 melee weapons. I could use the knife now. Alright, see you soon. There is something in the trunk. Scrap metal. Hey bud, you want to buy some scrap metal? I should have kept that babushka because there's... Oh, I do have it on. I had an extra. There's a crafting recipe that requires it. Come on, man. You can do it, though. I need to drink some pre-war vodka, port wine. Barter with me, old man. You've got rubles. No, you don't have rubles. You have an herbal mix. Well, whatever, here's some scrap metal. 2 pieces. I'll take zip gun round. Mix of some questionable herbs. You can make tea from it, but remember that there are no quality control in the way, so drinking it could be dangerous. Real tea made of some modern herbal mix made out of something God knows what. 85 rubles. I don't know if I want to spend that much. $65 for that knife. It's a nice knife though. What the heck? Pre-war port wine instead. And I'll give you 56 rubles. Don't spend them all in one place. Say hi to the spirits for me. So I can probably use that rusty knife now. Pretty cool. It's got a Dead State feel, which I mentioned in a previous episode. Mixed with Fallout 1. Guess that was a random encounter. Onwards to Krasno-Znameni. Or this next place here. Down plain over there. I'm just looking to get some see a small group of friendly junk scavengers. Let's meet them. Looking to get some combat training so I can kill the snitch, if that's even a possibility. He's probably gone now. Hello, junk scavengers. Talk to the leader. Before you stands a man in a pre-war jacket sporting a gas mask. He holds onto the straps of his huge rucksack with one hand while playing with a rusty bolt in the other. His voice is distorted by the mask. No rubles on him. What are you doing here? If you got anything to sell, do it. If not, get out. Who are you people? We're the garbage collectors, claiming the ruins and what's inside them. We're sort of like this big cultural phenomenon of the modern times. Or at least that's what I've heard. Heard anything new? I heard that bandits from the big city of Krasno-Znameni created an unholy criminal cabal of sorts. They even have their own passports. Hate their guts. Kill them all if I could. Let's talk some more. I better go. See the guy in the gas mask? Talk to him. Alright, I have some hunger. Let's roast some meat. Pretty cool. To Krasno-Znameni. Maybe I should head back up. What's my journal say? Kill the rat. The fisherman wants pre-war hard liquor. At least there's no time limit that I know of. You've been ambushed by bandits. If you don't do anything, they'll surely attack you. Talk your way out? Failure. You didn't manage to talk your way out of this predicament. The battle is inevitable. Oh, I'm done for. Oh, I'm way done for. They got guns. Oh, at least I can test out my knife. 36% chance. That is not too good. I'm dead. Oh, man. Why such a poor chance to hit? My strength is too low? Maybe because I'm radiated? Haha, jammed. There's a shiv for 1 HP. Better off doing martial arts. He's got a wooden shield. Made of a plank. Boards. The As life drains from your dying body, you reflect upon your deeds and wonder, have you even managed to make an impact on this world? Let's just get to Krasno-Znameni. Alright, let's continue to Krasno-Znameni, which is a big city. Apparently. Hello there, guy with gun. With his hands on his hips, a serious, broad-shouldered militiaman watches over the streets from his fortified post near a decrepit pre-war power station. Having noticed you, the law enforcement officer frowns his eyebrows and flexes his massive arm muscles. Whoa, 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 this is a strategic object. This isn't a place to take your walks. Have you forgotten something here? I'm into local folklore. Do you have anything for me? I don't have any folklore, but I have a lead. Some people from out of town speak about a noble serial killer that has appeared in the north. His name is Hybris or Hubris, something like that. He killed a popular singer who became too full of himself, and some pushy politician, and then a mobster who has lost all shame. People say be more humble and Hybris won't touch you. Damn it, I even had a change of heart about asking for a promotion after hearing this story. Hubris is a term signifying overconfidence and arrogance. The story you heard is a metaphor. The man seems frightened by your words. Listen, I will be the first one to agree the story was a bit unsettling, but don't you start mentioning some demon names here, like this metaphor and whatnot. Why are you so angry? You're standing there looking ready to jump me. Open your eyes. I'm guarding an important government object, all alone. There is no real checkpoint here, no security guards. And the only thing we have to scare off the tourists and the hobos are my rude words. So that's how it is. Alright, go on, keep being angry. One more question. God, what now? What is this place? Can you tell me more about it? The man rolls his eyes, annoyed. Are you blind? Do you need an eye exam? This is the city power plant, an object of great strategic importance, vital, like food and water. Well, the power plant sure is important. Tell me any gossip or rumors or any of the local folklore? Okay. Well, I'll be on my way. Good luck with your service. I feel like having a stroll. Do you, sir? Before you stands a stocky, cleanly shaven man in a dirty shirt and work pants. In his hand he plays with a cigarette nervously. Amazing. Can I ask something else? The man looks you over with disgust and sniffs. He looks you over suspiciously and sniffs. Ask away if you wanna. How's life out here? Everywhere is like that, I guess. Shitty, I mean. Those idiots from the shroom cult yap about unity and development. Well, I get what they're coming from with those sentiments, but I'll never accept these bleeding heart ideals of theirs. Enough with all the damn Marxism, I say. These dreams of utopias brought us into this whole nuclear mess in the first place. Tell me about the mushroom cult. The man spits in disgust and sniffs. The man spits to the side and sniffs loudly. Just an average cult, you know. They dress like women folk. They preach about world peace. It's hard to look at them without cringing. Freedom, equality, brotherhood, my ass. Canis canum lupus est. And if you don't like it, you can get out. Funny. How's life out here? Oh. Tell me about yourself. Some curious fella you are. What's there to say? I cope as well as I can. Feel glad each morning I wake up, because I didn't die in the night. I feel better when I notice nobody robbed me or cut me up. Great, huh? Life is a real carnival ride, if you know what I mean. Don't fret. What's new in town? I don't know. Something new always happens, but nobody tells me about it. Heard any good rumors lately? I did hear about some dude going around the waste asking people retarded questions like how's life or what can you tell me about yourself. Dude always fishes for rumors too. Fear that one of these days he'll come up to me and start chatting me up. I see. should go. Hello, power plant man. A tired, sweaty man walks around the coal plant with a disgruntled facial expression. He looks at the machinery, sometimes at the huge furnace, sometimes at the large pile of coal near it, sometimes at different little gadgets and mechanisms that are stationed all over the place. When he notices you, he nods in a greeting and wipes his forehead. They expect me to work in such an environment. Everything is falling apart and there's no real supply of coal. Problems with the shipments of coal, buddy boy? What's wrong? See, since the old mine down east depleted, we have to get the coal from the north, through Paragon. And I'm guessing you already know what kind of place Paragon is. Because of it, we don't get the shipments on time. Krasnozemeni blacks out constantly, and everyone blames me for that, since I'm the head of this here plant. Crappy situation indeed. Want some help? Yeah, hey, maybe you could do something about our trouble. Someone needs to speak with the guy responsible for the coal shipment, who sits somewhere in the Chamber of Commerce bunker. I would do it myself, but I can't leave my post even for a minute. Okay, where should I look for him? In the Chamber of Commerce bunker. No one can get inside the thing, though. But you look like the type of guy who won't be stopped by that. The man you need to chat up is Alexander Savlin. Deal, I'll tell him about your woes. That's what I want to hear. Tell Savlin he needs to do something about Paragon. You're my only hope now. What would you like to know? Tell me about yourself, electrician. Came here from the north with the first wave of immigrants. Hate this climate. But I'm alive, so I guess it's not all bad. Got that right. Tell me about your city. I rarely get the time to walk around Krasnozemeni and really get the feel of it. But still I can say that it's a good place to live. We have a semblance of law. There are militiamen on the streets. There are places for tourists and visitors. You can visit a bookstore and a gambling hall. There's a lot of stuff. Sounds good. Tell me about this here power plant. What's there to tell? It's an average coal plant. Old people say it stood here even before the Great Revolution. But I never found the construction dates myself, and I really don't know architecture that well. Living history, huh? Heard any rumors? People say there are problems with the coal shipments from Paragon because of some feud they have back there. No matter what anyone does, they still continue the infighting. Now if they'd accept the rule of the Chamber of Commerce, nah, that would be even worse. Too much plutocracy that way. That's a pain. Now I must go. My time is up. No fate. Hello there. A tired man, his face covered in coal dust, blinks fearfully and wipes his dirty hands on his trousers. He snorts and gives you a questioning look. You see a badge pinned to his uniform. Simeon Lapushkin. Look, man, I'm working now. If you have a question, go talk to my boss. Okay, go on with your work. Still coughing from my radiation poisoning. I think that's why I'm having trouble wielding weapons and stuff. Hey there, buddy. Before you stands a tall man in an aged, grayish, short-sleeved shirt. He's constantly looking around and biting his nails. On his skinny face is a look of contempt. Amazing. Can I ask something? Well, okay. Ask away if you need to. How's life out here? What kind of question is that? We live. That's that. If you can call it living. I'd spit in the face of anyone who says that it's a good life. And who's to blame? I can tell you that. The nosy ones. Sure. Tell me about yourself. Anatoly Babkas at your service. Or maybe not. Yup, maybe not at all. Today you can trust nobody, not a bit. With all the shit going on around here, we need a leader, you know? But everywhere there's nothing but them pederasts, politicians and foreigners. Not my type of crowd, you know? Nope, not at all. Not like before, oh no. Yup. Sure. What's new in town? It's okay, see how big our city is? And it was ever so small at the start. So small. It was actually better when it was small. Yup, it'd be better if it stayed small. Although it's not really big even now. But it's big is a huge word, you know? Nope, it's not big at all. Oh no, not big at all. You let people yap and they'll call everything anything. Like for example, they'll call a small city big. Yep. Sure. Heard any good rumors lately? I always hear rumors around here. Everyone's yapping all the time. There's no meaning in what they say, though. But I heard an interesting rumor lately, from people who I can trust. They say a terrible monster came into the waste, a man-eater. Tall as a 3-story house, fanged, scary-looking savage. And he eats people for fun. Yup, just for laughs. It's his hobby, you see, eating people. That is very scary, very terrible indeed, yup. I should go. It's getting dark. I like exploring during the day. What's this place? El Polo Lake. Hello, man eating his meal. We're doing something. You see a well-built gray-haired man bending over maps, compasses, and rulers spread all over the desk. He seems to be sunk in thoughts. He knocks his knuckles against the surface of the table. Oh wow, that's a real command post. I hope I'm not disturbing. The man quickly raises his eyes at you. For a moment he looks irritated, but quickly composes himself and gives you a friendly smile, albeit a bit forced. He looks down at his maps again. No, I was absorbed in my work is all. He raises his head again, straightens his broad shoulders with visible pleasure, groans quietly as his numb neck makes a cracking sound. Phew, what can I do for you? What are you working on? To be honest, it looks like a battle plan. Yes, it's true. Look at you, you're sharp. Where does your experience come from? I'm from Adam. This is where I got my experience from. Goodness gracious, from Adam, really? Now you're talking. Haha. The man looks around and beckons you with his finger. His next phrase is uttered in a significantly quieter voice. If you really are from Adam, my advice is not to go around talking about it. The Krasno-Zameni establishment don't have particularly warm feelings towards this organization, for personal reasons. Got it? Nod silently. The man gives you a long look and finally shakes his head, uncertain. All right, I think you could help me with something if you're interested. I could put you in the picture. Of course. So an influential man has hired me to deal with the problem that Ochinoy is now facing. At the moment, I'm looking for people who could do this job, but it turns out those I'd like to see involved are not too eager to respond to my call. What threat is Ochinoy facing exactly? At the moment, it's a big gang of slave owners who have decided to take over the village and turn it into its central base in the wasteland. If they succeed, it won't just be the villagers who have it tough, it'll be all of us. Who's your employer, if you don't mind me asking? Why would I mind? On the contrary, he asked me to spread the word about it. It was Dan from the factory, Denisovich, who hired me. Perhaps you heard of him. He's sort of in charge over the village, so I assume he doesn't want any harm to go its way. But he's not sure his gang can cope. I see. Go on. So I need someone to gather all the men I need together, perhaps even participate in the forthcoming operation himself. It'll be one hell of a clash, trust me on this. Who do you need? Professional team. Leod Miller, the sniper, a trooper known as Major Pronin, and Konstantin Arkadovich Smirnov, a well-known saboteur. These three used to work together until they fell out and each went their own way. Now they can't stand the sight of each other. Such a pity. I've never seen a better team. Okay, I'm ready to bring about their reconciliation. Great. I know that Leod Miller must be at the filling station fortress, which belongs to the Krasno-Zameni militia. Rumor has it that Pronin has started working for Paragon and serves as the border guard fortress. Not sure about Smirnov, but the last time any saw him was not far from Ochinoy. Mark these places on your map if you haven't been there before. You hand your map over to the man who makes some quick notes on it. There, pay them a visit. I don't believe all hope's lost, so you still have a chance to get our good old guys back together. I'll try. Now can you answer a couple of urgent questions for me? Ask away. Do you have any idea who's in control of the wasteland? Look, the Krasno-Zameni Chamber of Commerce believes it controls all the wasteland, but it's far from being true. Who's in charge then? De facto, Krasno-Zameni controls the shore. Paragon watches over the north, and the factory gang of Denisovich, aka Dan, controls the lands in between. Tell me about Krasno-Zameni's Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber of Commerce was founded by former prominent party members, head of big enterprises and bureaucrats of all kinds, the bravest and most cunning of them. Quite a while ago, in the post-war chaos, they were able to build up a team and take over all the cushy places on the shore. Now they've declared themselves to be the successors of the statehood and the greatest power in the wastes. I have to admit they indeed achieved a lot. They've restored the power of land and founded a TV channel. It is indeed quite something, but it's not enough to call them the greatest power. What is their relationship with other groups? The Chamber of Commerce believes itself to be somewhat a lord over other organizations. But don't think for a second that it means they're absolutely relaxed. Krasnozameni knows full well that the wasteland exists solely thanks to a complex system of checks and balances. Tell me about Paragon. People are reluctant to talk about it now, but in the post-war time, the same people who now guard Paragon were ordinary river pirates. First they would rob merchants who drifted down the river, and then it occurred to them to make an agreement. Now they guard the wasteland's northern border as well as the big lake near Paragon. Paragon is controlled by merchants, the former dealing with financing and administrative issues. The latter are in charge of the military stuff. What's their relationship with other groups? For some reason, Paragon doesn't like Dan and his gang. Most likely they had some sort of a fight when both were mere gangsters. Their relationship with the Chamber of Commerce are slightly better. They paid lip service to the Chamber and called themselves part of the Commonwealth, but in fact they're absolutely autonomous. And even if they ever ask for Krasnozameni's opinion on some matters, this is mostly for appearance's sake. Tell me about Dan and his people. Several years ago, he and the guys took over the old factory at the river. Next thing you know, they were also in control of the adjacent territories, including Otradnoy. Now they extort money from the local residents, and protect them if they can. I don't know much about Dan himself. We did talk, but never on personal matters. However, I know the central area, which is under his control, is very important strategically, but both Paragon and the Chamber of Commerce had trouble taking over it, so Dan appeared there right on time. What's his relationship with other groups? Dan bears some grudge to Paragon. It's never turned into open confrontation, but they're not averse to dirty tricks against each other. His own gang acknowledges the Chamber of Commerce and considers it to be something of senior power over them. But of course, should Krasnozameni weaken, Dan won't miss a chance to play his cards right. There's no loyalty between them. Who controls the east and west then? If we talk about the nearest eastern and western lands, no one does. Maybe some scattered gangs, slave owners, drug syndicates, and other nice people. There's some real tension between them and the local groups. I see, let's change the subject. What else do you want to know? What mercenary groups are there in the wasteland? In these parts there are 3, Steel Shield, the Honey Badgers, and the Wasteland Lawmen. However, I think Dubious Crooks would be a much more appropriate name for all of them. Tell me about the Steel Shield. Their base used to be in the city of Fargate on the Black Sea shore. They used to work as city guards and patrol the suburbs too. Then the Fargate department of the Steel Shield was officially recognized as a city army. Some of its mercenaries didn't like it, so they moved over here. Tell me about the Honey Badgers. They used to have their base to the north from here. Rumor has it they were considered real heroes back there. For a while, the first big blow came when they had tried to attack a big raider camp. They won, but lost many fighters in the attack. They then made another mistake by getting involved in clashes between the local princes. Their popularity among the locals plummeted. Their leader decided to disband his army, but its surviving members moved here to the south. They teamed up again, but now they're merely a shadow of their former glory. What about the Wasteland Lawmen? Some people say that once, despite all the obstacles, the Wasteland Lawmen defied the cattle thieves' bands to the west from here. And not just defied them, they got the upper hand over them. After that, the corrupted local officials who were involved in the cattle-stealing business promised a reward for their heads, so the lawmen had to flee to our prairies. Other people claim they were simply taking revenge for some disagreement they had with the cattle thieves, and that they themselves were complete sons of bitches, so the reward promised for their heads is fully deserved. I guess the truth is somewhere in between, but personally I would say the second story seems more plausible. What group do you belong to? The man grins and passes his fingers through his gray hair. I don't belong to any. I'm all by myself, but the local bosses know they should turn to me if they have really tough jobs, because I always find the best people, keep my word, and never sell my commissioners. I see. Tell me a bit about yourself. You can call me strategist. Let's make it clear from the beginning. We don't discuss each other. No hard feelings, but all this talk is not particularly interesting to me. And perhaps to you either. Are there any recent rumors? I've heard a big atom squadron was seen in an old bunker to the north from here. This is all I know. I'm sorry, but I can't give you any details. As you wish. Okay, I have to go. Man, a lot of talking in this game. You see a well-built man sipping a cold beer from his high, foggy glass. He sits. His slightly crazy smile and weird goggles implied he'll have a lot to tell. And judging by ammunition belts that cross his chest alongside various harnesses and holsters, the conversation will have to be utterly polite, or might be the last conversation in your life. Hi, youngster. Have you come to hear my stories or just to chat? Ha. The man gives you a sudden close look and clicks his finger against his grenade amulet. But I strongly advise against making me angry. This grenade is real, you know. I might use it if need be, and goodbye, everybody. Why are you covered in sweat all of a sudden? I was just joking. What stories can you tell? The man moves close to you, studies your face, and grins insanely. It's nice being in a place where no one knows about my adventures. I'm a well-known traveler and adventurer back where I'm from, so everyone there has learned my stories by heart. And here I can always find a willing ear. All in all, I saw many wonders and was able to leave with my life every time. I survived the atomic battery and Barzookin's gang and the Vorkuta anomaly. Tell me about the atomic battery. Once when I was a stalker, a rich scientist hired me to collect a full list of different artifacts for him in the wasteland. First he thought he was planning to assemble a computer with an unusual aerodynamic case. The penny dropped by the end when I was plotting to meet him with a spent uranium in a lead case. This nutcase was going to build a miniature nuclear bomb. I never turned up at the meeting. The Earth has suffered enough from those bombs. What about Barzookin's gang? Far across the sea in the southern lands, there was this man called Barzookin, a warrior and religious leader. He gathered thousands of people around himself and converted them to his faith. He was planning to attack this part of the wasteland with his horde, but there was one weak spot in his religious book left, I presume, to make his teaching more plausible. If a man who can kill an elk, a lion, and an exotic panda in a fist fight, Barzookin himself would have to bow to him, it said. Well, I put 2 horseshoes in my old boxing gloves and accepted the challenge. After Barzookin's public execution, when the horde made me their leader, I ordered them to live in peace. I hope they obeyed. What about the Vorkuta anomaly? When I was young, I traveled to Vorkuta. Brr, I still feel cold when I think of it. To keep the long story short, I saw one of those super deep holes drilled in the Soviet times for some research. Do you understand what I'm talking about? A vertical shaft running about 50 kilometers to the Earth's core. We had a fight with the guys who ran the local ironworks. Eventually they caught me and threw me down that shaft to avenge half their gang that had perished from my hand. I remember the edge of that giant hole. Blackness below me. I remember falling down, screaming at the top of my lungs, and then boom. I came into the taiga, alone, missing. My left boot, 100 kilometers away from that spot. Was it teleportation, my guardian angel, or an exotic mushroom dish I ate? It still puzzles me. Wow, okay, let's change the subject now. As you wish. I have a couple of questions. The man crosses his legs and leans back. The flimsy bench creaks under his weight. Ask. I love sharing my experience. I consider it an investment in the future. The more beginners I teach now, the fewer idiots I'll have to rescue from mutant beasts in the ruins later. What's your name, comrade? The man squeezes your hand tightly. They call me Patrick. Patrick the Psycho. If you hear someone call me the White Wolf or the Mutant Hammer, just ignore it. Those are nicknames from my past. Got you. Pleasure meeting you, Patrick. How do you earn your living? By all this. The man opens his arm as if trying to embrace the wasteland. Might sound bad, but I feel like I was meant for this world, for the apocalypse. Before the war, I couldn't settle on one job. And after, I did well as a stalker, worked as a mercenary, and even restored civilization in a certain area. There's a village called Patrick's Land. Pay to visit if you're ever in the East. I can see you're a professional survivor. You said you were interested in ruins? Ruins, drains, bunkers, all the places where treasures of the old world are hidden have a special place in my heart. Till I raid them, then they somehow fade from my memory. Huh, you're a sly guy. Heard any interesting rumors? Locals told me that a former apprentice of mine, Rivlin from Silesia, has gained the glory of the best mutant hunter in the neighborhood. What can I say? I'm proud of him. Just wish he wouldn't have too many of his mutagenes. That's his nickname for vodka. Yeah, he always had this bad habit. He didn't even need a good company to go on a binge. I hope he won't turn into an alcoholic, the poor man, but I have to go now. Speaking of alcohol, you should have some. Strong man wearing a headpiece is standing in front of you. He's pensively stroking his small, neat beard and watching the visitors of his bar with attention. As he sees you, the man slightly nods. Saludo! Welcome to my bar. My name is Fidel. How can I help you, amigo? Oh, Fidel. Is Fidel your real name? The man smiles and shakes his head. Of course it isn't. My real name is Agdalavdov Iskander Agtugan Abdalanatovich Jr., but you can just call me Fidel. I don't mind. Why is it Fidel exactly? I've just dreamt of visiting Cuba since I was little. The Freedom Island. Perhaps you've heard of it. Well, due to obvious reasons, this dream died 20 years ago, and this nickname stuck with me somehow. I see. Can I ask you various questions? Fidel sighs and giving the hall another look, turns to you. What is it you're interested in, amigo? Tell me about yourself, friend. Fidel smiles and quickly answers, so quickly as if he's learned the answer by heart. I myself am from the north, amigo. I came to Krasnozemeni about 5 years ago, and quite quickly made my bar here. I already had the money put away, and good people helped me build it. Now I live and work here. I see. How's the business going? Do you get a lot of customers? I've nothing to complain about, amigo. Krasnozemeni is a big city. There are plenty of people living here, and travelers pass through it every day. My establishment is not the most pompous, of course, but it has something special about it. Its Cuban flavor attracts people immediately. Glad to hear it. Can you tell me about this city? Ah, Krasnozemeni, a city of sharp knives and even sharper tongues. I advise you to be on your guard here, amigo, and beware of the tongues even more than the knives. Thanks for your advice, amigo. Do you know any rumors circulating around here? Travelers from the faraway land say that by winter we should expect a deficit in fabrics. But you, amigo, will probably be more interested to hear that there's a new monster in the waste, the so-called skin worm. I don't know whether it's true or not, and I'm hoping to never find out. Who would have thought? On the other hand, let's change the subject. What else would you like, amigo? Aha. He doesn't have pre-war vodka? There it is. You know what? Give me 2 of those. No. Yeah, give me 2 of those. I'll give you 1 piece of scrap metal. A couple tin cans. Wire. And 25 rubles. I also need food. Cucumber brine. Cure from hangover. A ciggy. -1 health, but +1 endurance. +8 tinkering. Tobacco. Well, I'll take some meat. 28 rubles, not bad. Alright, now, let's save the password. You clear your throat and, leaning closer to Fidel, whisper, "Treason is the highest form of sensibility. A traitor means a real man." The barman flinches barely noticeably, but otherwise doesn't give himself away. With a nonchalant look, he picks a glass from the bar counter and examines it for stains and answers, "But it's better to die a traitor than to live a slave." Having said that, he gestures to a short lad who's running to and fro in the bar hall. "Kostya, stay in charge here. My friend came to see me. We need to talk, and you follow me." Got it. That's right, Chief. Fidel cautiously peeps behind the red draping and distrustfully looks around the bar. Finally, having made sure that none of the visitors is behaving too suspiciously, he turns to you with his hand outstretched for a handshake. "The coast is clear, amigo. Nobody's eavesdropping on us." He gives you a firm handshake. "As I've already told you, you can call me Fidel. Who do I have the honor of talking to?" "Good day, Fidel. My name is..." Fidel is listening to you attentively. His watchful stare slides down your figure. Apparently the agent of place is studying your ways. "Matthew." The man looks at you in the eye and slowly nods. "Yes, you're telling the truth. Well, Matthew, I understand that you came about the lost expedition of General Morozov. I'm afraid I have to disappoint you, as I myself know nothing about it. Although perhaps you've already managed to find something out?" "Tell everything you managed to find out." Fidel is listening to you attentively. He doesn't interrupt you nor inserts his comments. When you've finished, he pensively takes off his headpiece and runs the palm of his hand down his bald scalp. "Yeah, it's clear that nothing's clear. Yes, it's all rather tricky." "So it is. Alright, we need to examine this issue thoroughly and figure out what's going on, while also getting in our characters of running errands for the locals. The main thing is to avoid raising their suspicions." "Wait, did you say we?" Fidel makes a theatrical gesture with his hand. "I'm going to come with you, amigo. Together we have a much bigger chance of finding things out. Besides, I'm sick of this work. I'm a man of action and an adventure seeker. Here I'm tied down to some spying activity, to some bar." "Who's going to look after the premises?" Fidel waves his hand. "My student, Kostya. He's a bit of a scaredy cat, but he's got a good head on his shoulders. He won't lose the bar." "Alright, Fidel, let's hit the road then." "Perfecto. Just let me get my belongings." "Alright, get as much as you can." "Awesome." Kostya. The young lad looks around the bar frowning. He casts a quick glance at you and nods. "Yes?" "Do you have any special offer today?" "I'm not skilled in mixing cocktails as Fidel, so I can offer you just one, a cocktail called Idiot. It's not to everyone's liking, but our regulars enjoy it. It will cost you 3 rubles. "There you go. Hurry up. I'm dying of thirst." The young guy procures a heavy bottle filled with the cloudy, stinking liquid. This is local moonshine. You're hoping it's made of beetroot or potato at least, but its true ingredient is most likely sawdust, if not shit. Anything is possible. While these thoughts are running through your head, the lad has already poured you a shot and is handing to you. Drink it bravely. You drain the glass. At first nothing happens, but then you feel as if a river of lava has just gone through your body. Your whole being demands you spit out the disgusting slush. It's only your strong will that allows you to hold the deathly potion and stop you from embarrassing yourself by emptying your stomach's contents right in front of everybody. Ooh, damn, what a sheep dip. I did warn you, by the way, that the cocktail is not to everyone's liking. You should have listened to me and not risked it. Don't rub it in. Can I ask you a few questions? The young lad looks at you with a quizzical expression on his face. How's the work going? Do you get enough customers? Not too bad, I guess. People frequent this place. In Krasno's a many suburb, our bar is the main place for entertainment, the cultural center, as they used to say. I see. Why don't you tell me about this lovely town? What's there to tell? This is the wasteland capital. I doubt there's a place in the whole world that'd be more developed or cultured than our good old town. I highly recommend a visit to the TV tower and to see the building of the Chamber of Commerce. You can also go aboard the ship in the haven. I see. Tell me about Fidel. Well, I was just a kid when I got here. Had it not been for the chief, I'd sure have kicked the bucket. I'd either have been knifed in some back street or sold into slavery. Cross my heart. Fidel raised me. He became like a father to me. No kidding. I see. I bet you've heard a lot of rumors. There's a place from the west here called the Roaring Forest. It's constantly shaking. Why? Few people know the answer. But I've heard that it's due to some mutants who dig their passages underneath it and eat the earth. Tell me another rumor. Some traveling scientists came here for a drink. You would think it should have gone smoothly, but no. One of them gets up already drunk and says a toast, something along the lines of, "If the sea were made of vodka, I'd become a submarine." And the other egghead tells him, well, you would no doubt plunge in those conditions. But how would you emerge? Have you forgotten about the alcohol's density? Vasily Vasilyevich? You old fool, you pseudo-scientist. So a fight broke out, and it was so fierce that I barely managed to save my glasses that had been left in the bar. And I don't even understand what started it. Wouldn't it be better if the sea turned into beer, and we dive in it like dolphins? Tell me another rumor. I've heard that there's a new horrendous disease in the wasteland, called the Krasnov syndrome. People tell all sorts of things about it. That it makes a man's eyes fall out, his body rot, and blood boil. These things are unpleasant to listen to. I'm really hoping it doesn't reach the town. We won't survive another big epidemic here. They say that Dan, who's in charge of the old factory, is laying his hands on surrounding lands with more zeal than ever before. Some say that life became safer with him as a leader. Others complain that these days one is too scared to even spit on the ground. Because if the old Spider Dan doesn't like it, that's it, you're done for. Tell me one more. Many travelers tell stories of a mysterious creature called the Skin Worm. From what I've heard, the monster gets inside a man somehow and starts controlling him. Not just that, the worm also eats other people through its host, lures them away from the witnesses, kills and eats them. Terrifying. One more. I've heard that one traveler from the wasteland, Maxim Rogatansky, once came around a small commune by a lone oil rig that was being besieged by a gang of bloodthirsty bandits striving to lay their hands on the petrol. At first, Maxim decided to trick the people of the commune and steal the petrol himself. But it turned out that he had a good heart inside. He felt for the people of the commune and helped them beat the cruel bandits. Who would have thought? A heartwarming story. Tell me another. Sometimes a merchant who delivers goods to a small village in the no man's land comes here. That's right, people manage to live even outside of Krasno-Zameni's influence, right next to various cutthroats. Must be scary. I wouldn't dare go there on a reconnaissance mission. Tell me another. Some travelers complain that when Hesperus star is shining particularly bright, they get awful migraines. That's strange. I'm not even sure I've ever seen it. Maybe it's just more visible in their lands. I don't really know. One more. One more. I went to a local medicine worker recently to have my tooth pulled out. She was talking about this country doctor the whole time. A prominent scientist, she said, who was wasting his life in Otradno, she said. While he could be teaching students or treating the members of the Chamber of Commerce and be rolling in dough. Did she have a crush on him, I wonder? It was more painful to listen to than that to have my teeth pulled out without anesthesia. They say that the pre-war government tried to construct robots, just like in sci-fi books. Since I haven't seen a robot in my life, I assume they weren't successful. But damn it, I'd like to take a look at one. Tell me another. I've heard there are different secret bunkers left in the wasteland from the pre-war times. Some of them the army ones, and others, hell knows what. They may have been used for some research or to do experiments on people. They must be spooky places. Still, it'd be very interesting to visit such a bunker. In the local brothel, men pay their last money to spend the night with a beauty, but I've heard things about this guy, Taurus Korolov. Girls have a roll in the hay with him free of charge, just for a kind word and a cheap ring from his left hand. Sometimes even the married ones fall for him. There you go, a gigolo of a post-apocalyptic era. One more. Alright, I have to go. You cannot proceed with an overloaded inventory. What is the problem? My strength is down to 1. Oh man. Alright, let's rest. And just for 3 hours. There we go. Can I look in this without Fidel getting mad? I don't know if I'm allowed to take these. I don't have really the weight to carry them. Alrighty. Vagrants walking down the road, drinking and feasting. You see a strong, well-built man in his 50s. He staggers from side to side, hiccups and croaks. As he sees you, the drunk grins and opens his arms widely for an embrace. When he realizes you're not too keen for a hug, he calms down and announces with a smile. "Ah, brother, vodka and cigarettes have given me quite a hard time, but I'm still able to recognize a man who's come to help unsinkable Vyatsky the Navigator to earn some dough for a nice bottle." Take these 10 rubles. Have a good evening, Navigator. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we have an order. You didn't think, newbie, did you, that I was asking alms? I will dance to make up for my money. Like this. Look. The drunk shifts his weight from one feet to another, clasps his hands, waves his head, sways his hips, and makes scary faces. I see, but let's just talk. A conversation, yuck, won't polish the sides of the unsinkable Navigator, but we can chat surely. Once we become friends then. You'll pay me for my talent. What did you want to know, matey? How'd you end up in Krasno-Znameni? I did, didn't I? We headed for Moscow with the garrisons, but there was nothing but smoking craters there. Winter was coming. So we headed for the south, and there were thugs and psychos and marauders. No one minded cutting a soldier's throat to get his rifle and ration. So we moved deeper south, and it seemed quiet. People were trading. Some old guy built an entire village around an oak tree, and this was a real city with a proper chamber of commerce. Would it all appear in a bad place? Not a chance. That's how I ended up here. I see, so you emigrated here. Where's the best booze in town? Do you know about the chemical formula of alcohol? If it's in the drink is fine by me. By the way, those who are too picky about booze and turn their nose up for methanol-based drinks weren't allowed into the army in olden times. Just like the flat-footed. Bloody connoisseurs, my God. Whew. No surprise you drunk your wits off. Why do you call yourself the Navigator? I was with the motorized infantry, but I reckon the Navigator sounds more romantic, like the sea and all that crap. Whew. The sea has its romance, yeah? Are there any interesting rumors circulating? In Berlin, I used to serve together with the captain, an adventurer like you, a tough old SOB. Then gangsters hammered his knees to pieces. Now he lives in the city, bedridden. I have to visit him. Bye. Alright, so I'm going to save here and say thank you for joining me. Hope you're enjoying this little Let's Play that I'm doing. Again, I don't know how long it's going to last. If I get some likes and some comments and you guys want to see me do more, then let me know and I'll continue it. But I'll keep going as long as I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun so far, so I hope you are too. Appreciate your viewership, and I will see you in the next J. Dumont RPG video. So until then, take care everybody. Peace out.